my name is Samantha Roscoe. My research question asks, is gluten-free an upcoming fad diet? Many people believe that it is. However, it may not be. They see that it's a marketing ploy that has earned big businesses billions of dollars over a simple label. I want to relate to the fact that they believe many fads are diets, but I want to persuade them into understanding that not all diets are fads. I can do this by helping them understand that what one puts into their body can really benefit or disintegrate their health. I provided some graphs and pictures that will help illustrate the point of view of others and myself. Gluten is a protein that is found in oat, barley, wheat, and other grains. And here continued, my next slides will provide you with some more information. This article in WebMD is definitely on the opposing view of a gluten-free diet. However, I must say that much of this information can be refuted. In the first paragraph, the author states a problem with eliminating gluten means to give up most breads, crackers, and he goes on to the wide range of processed foods that are made with this small amounts of gluten. This really makes me wonder if they read this article before they read it. You may have to give up these things, but there are healthier alternatives such as making your own pastas with vegetables and even making your own breads with different flours that are shockingly full of healthier proteins and vitamins. Not to mention that they are arguing that one will have to get rid of their diets of processed foods, which in my opinion is something we should be getting rid of anyway. Processed foods are full of genetically modified organisms which are not a part of a healthy diet. They continue on saying that when you eliminate a whole category, you run the risk of nutritional deficiencies. This could be the case. However, if you find yourself substituting these processed foods for real vegetables, fruits, and whole grains, you will not find yourself with any deficiencies. My favorite part to refute in this article is that the author states that there is a little point to taking that risk unless you genuinely have a celiac disease or gluten sensitivity. Eating a healthy gluten-free diet means paying constant attention to what you eat. This isn't something anyone should do casually, said Green. Well, my voice can be heard when I say that this paragraph has not made its point. You have to think about the fact that everyone should be paying attention to what they are eating, no matter what type of diet they are on, because in order for one to be healthy and free themselves the risk of all other nutritional issues, they should pay attention to the food they put into their mouths. Now, the last paragraph here, the author states yet another drawback of being gluten-free is that the alternatives are significantly more expensive. I will agree, however, the thing here is that these alternatives are generally processed foods. If you're replacing one unhealthy processed food for another unhealthy food, then where's your point there? It'll be more expensive, but if you introduce healthier, more natural foods, the alternatives won't be as expensive. Now, the reason it won't be as expensive is because if you think about if you're replacing the foods that make you sick, you're not going to be racking up the hospital and doctor bills and medications, and the money that you're saving on those expenses can go towards the healthier diet. What are autoimmune disorders? Well, here on this little chart we have the differences between a normal immune response and an autoimmune response. On the first, it shows that basically the body just, goes about its way and it removes the things it doesn't want and it continues to function like a normal body. However, on the second row where it shows the autoimmune responses, that the body seems to not like the whole idea of having the system with these antibodies. They form, but then they attack the things it's not supposed to be attacking, and that makes inflammation of tissues and can cause a variety of issues in people, such as the celiac disease, where that affects people's intestines and stomach. There's Hashimoto's hypothyroidism, which is something I actually have, and that is where your body attacks the butterfly-looking part in your neck. It's called the thyroid, and it attacks that, and it can cause two different ones. There's Hashimoto's and there's Graves'. Hashimoto's is where it has attacked it, so now your thyroid is underactive, so you can gain weight and become very sluggish and tired and cold, and the opposite, which is Graves' disease, where it's super fast and you are losing a lot of weight, you're very warm, your heart is constantly racing, and these can actually also, besides celiac disease, can be treated under a gluten-free diet as well. And there's a whole range of autoimmune disorders that you can look up and find out that they actually can help support others with a gluten-free diet and make their antibodies not as high of a number, and continue to have a way of life that is a lot more enjoyable than when you have the flares of the autoimmune disorder. This graph shows the anti-gliadin antibodies of IgG class in patients with non-celiac gluten sensitivity, which in layman's terms, anti-gliadin antibodies of IgG is immunoglobulin in which is blood, and the terms of the antibody, which is a protein created by plasma cells in the body used to identify and neutralize foreign objects in the body. For example, allergens, bacteria, and viruses, which are things we don't want in our bodies. So our body sort of attacks it to, kill it so it does not exist in your body. However, it is an immunoresponse, and for some people, gluten is just a protein and it's food and fuel for their bodies. However, those who have issues pertaining to gluten have these issues because their bodies think that it is an enemy, such as a virus or allergen. And as stated in the article, the anti-gliadin antibodies of the IgG class disappear in patients with non-celiac gluten sensitivity, reflecting a strict compliance to the gluten-free diet and a good clinical response to gluten withdrawal. Here on the left of the graph, before a gluten-free diet, the anti-gliadin antibodies of immunoglobulin is remarkably high, but without question it improves after the gluten-free diet. Now the real question is gluten-free diet an upcoming fad diet, or is it just really a dietary need for some people? Now it's thrown out there. There's various ideas on whether it's a marketing ploy or whether it is actually something people need. And with all this research I've done, it's generally something people need. It's sad that because there are people out there that say, oh, let's eat gluten, let's get rid of this gluten-free fad. But if you think about it, what about the people that have diabetes? They have a sugar-free diet. Are you going to continue to eat sugar and make sure that they can have sugar-free items? That's not fair. That's kind of unconventional and doesn't make sense to me. So to feel that passionate about making something go away doesn't make much sense to me. And when you think about the fact that these people that are eating gluten-free for themselves, for their health, who are you to judge whether they eat something with gluten or not? If they feel better and their way of life is better with a gluten-free diet, then why are you so worried about it? It's not going to make your precious gluten items go away. They're going to stay there. It's just like sugar. Sugar's still here. We didn't get rid of sugar because others needed sugar-free. It's just we made other alternatives to that. So in my opinion, gluten-free is not a fad diet. It's not a marketing ploy. It's something that some people actually need. And as all this research has concluded, that not everyone has to be on a gluten-free diet, but you never know. Some people may actually benefit from it, even if they don't have a autoimmune disorder or a gluten sensitivity. They may actually just feel better because they don't feel sluggish. There may be something, a part of them in their body that doesn't need gluten that we didn't realize. And it's not hard to try. If you don't want to try it, you don't have to. No one's going to make you.